My friend, once we enter our 60-year-old, the body begins to change in quiet, almost invisible ways. Our bones, the very structures that have carried us through more than half a lifetime, are no longer as strong as they once were. They become thinner, more fragile, and sometimes even a small misstep is enough to leave us aching for days. I once had a patient tell me, "James, I'm not afraid of getting old. I'm afraid of the day I can no longer stand steady on my own." And I understood that deeply. Because our ability to stay steady, to walk, to lift our grandchildren, to tend to a small garden, all of it begins with strong, healthy bones. But what I want you to know is this: bones don't become weak in a hopeless way. They can still be nourished. They can still grow stronger if you care for them the right way. And sometimes the change doesn't come from medication or complicated treatments. It comes simply from what you put on your plate each day. I've seen hundreds of patients over 60 improve their bone density just by adjusting their diet. They tell me their joints hurt less, their backs feel less tired, and their steps become lighter day by day. That's why I believe nutrition is one of the greatest gifts we can give our bodies. In this video, I want to walk you through 10 foods scientifically proven to strengthen your bones, but more importantly, foods that have truly changed the lives of many of my patients. Let's see how many of them have already appeared in your meals. 1. Milk and dairy products, the golden foundation of strong bones. My friend, when we think about healthy bones, the first thing that comes to mind is milk. And yes, you're right, but the story of milk is far deeper than simply drink milk for calcium. I remember Joanne, 66-year-old, who came to me worried about early-stage osteoporosis. When I asked her about her diet, she smiled and said, "James, I drank milk as a child, but stopped when I got older. I thought adults like me didn't need it anymore." I looked at her and replied, "It's not children who need milk. It's our bones that need lifelong care." Milk, yogurt, cheese, they all contain highly absorbable calcium along with vitamin D, protein, and phosphorus. These nutrients work together like a skilled team of engineers, rebuilding and reinforcing your bones cell by cell. What many people don't know is that dairy doesn't just provide calcium, it helps your body absorb calcium from other foods as well. I want you to imagine your bones like an old bridge. Over time, the beams underneath begin to wear down and weaken. And every glass of milk you drink, every spoonful of yogurt you eat, is like adding a new support beam to that bridge. Quietly, gradually, consistently, bit by bit, that bridge becomes strong again. Another one of my patients, Fred, 72-year-old, suffered from chronic back pain for years. He took all kinds of supplements except dairy. I gently encouraged him to drink a warm glass of milk each night and add Greek yogurt to his breakfast. 3 months later, he returned with a smile younger than his age. "James, my back feels so much lighter." I never thought such a simple change could make such a difference. Here's what I want you to understand: milk isn't magic, but it is a foundation. It gives your bones the nutrients they need every day, especially when your body no longer produces or absorbs them as efficiently as before it did so. And if you think milk is just for kids, remember this: adults are the ones who need strong bones the most. 2. Salmon, the ocean's gift to thinning bones. My friend, whenever I talk about foods that strengthen bones, salmon always makes the list. Not just because it's rich in omega-3 and protein, but because I've seen it make real life-changing differences in my older patients. I remember Arthur, 70-year-old, a kind man whose slightly stooped posture came from years of back and knee pain. When I asked him about his diet, he chuckled. "James, I eat a lot of red meat, not much fish. I'm just not used to it." I looked at him gently and said, "Arthur, I want you to make friends with salmon. Not because I'm your doctor, but because I've watched it give people their strength back." The magic of salmon lies in its natural vitamin D, the vitamin that acts like a key unlocking the door that lets calcium enter your bones. Without vitamin D, calcium enters your body, but doesn't reach your bones. It's like having bricks delivered to a construction site, but no workers to build with them. Salmon is also rich in omega-3, powerful anti-inflammatory fats. When joints begin to degenerate, silent inflammation is what makes them painful, stiff, and dry. Omega-3s act like gentle firefighters, calming that inflammation and restoring mobility. Another time, Linda, 68-year-old, came to me saying her knees didn't feel trustworthy anymore. I suggested she eat salmon 2-3 times a week. 3 months later, she returned with gratitude in her eyes. "James, I don't even know how to thank you. I can climb stairs without fear again. You see, salmon isn't just food. It's a reminder that your body can still heal. Your bones can still grow stronger. Each time you eat a piece of salmon, I want you to remember you're giving your bones a gift, a simple, powerful gift from the ocean. 3. Leafy greens, the tiny leaves that act as your bones' silent protectors. My friend, there are things we didn't like when we were young, but later in life they become what our bodies need the most. And for me and for many of my patients, leafy greens are exactly that. I remember Evelyn, 65-year-old, who once told me, James, I've never been a fan of vegetables. I always thought meat was where the real nutrition was. She said it with such honesty that I couldn't help but laugh. But then she continued slowly. It wasn't until my doctor told me my bones were thinning that I realized I needed to change. Leafy greens like spinach kale, collard greens, bok choy are one of nature's quiet gifts to our bones. They contain natural calcium, the kind your body absorbs easily without overwhelming it. But what makes them truly special is vitamin K, a nutrient that helps direct calcium to exactly where it needs to go, your bones. I often explain it to my patients like this: calcium is the brick, but vitamin K is the builder. Without the builder, the bricks just pile up, but never become a house. Another one of my patients, Teresa, 66, suffered from lower back pain and weak legs whenever she stood for long periods. When I asked about her diet, she was missing vegetables almost every day. I suggested she add a bowl of kale salad at lunch or lightly steamed greens at dinner. 2 months later, she said to me softly, James, I don't know if it's the vegetables, but my body really does feel better. Leafy greens also contain antioxidants that help slow the aging of bone and cartilage cells. They're not loud, not expensive, not complicated. They simply do their work quietly every single day. My friend, I want you to think about something. How long has it been since I truly ate a full serving of leafy greens? If it's been a while, start again today, because sometimes what makes your bones strong is just the handful of green leaves you once overlooked. 4. Eggs, a simple food, yet a quiet teacher for your bones and joints. My friends, sometimes the most familiar things are the ones we underestimate the most. And eggs, sitting quietly in nearly every kitchen, are a perfect example of that. One day, Linda, 70 years old, came to see me and said, James, I take all kinds of bone supplements, but I never thought eggs played any role at all. I smiled and replied, it's the simplest things that often keep us standing. Eggs contain natural vitamin D, the very nutrient that helps your body absorb calcium, the same way a key unlocks the door that allows calcium to enter your bones. Without vitamin D, no matter how much milk you drink or how many greens you eat, calcium simply doesn't reach where it's needed. But inside that small golden egg yolk lies exactly what older adults tend to lack most. Eggs are also rich in high-quality protein, the kind that maintains and nourishes your muscles. And when the muscles around your joints are strong, your bones are protected. Pressure is reduced and every step becomes easier. I often tell my patients, strong muscles are armor, and eggs are the bricks that build that armor. Another patient of mine, Bernard, 68 years old, always felt leg fatigue whenever he stood cooking. When I asked him what he ate for breakfast, he said, just a little bread, something quick. I suggested he switch to 2 boiled eggs each morning. 3 weeks later, he returned, his eyes filled with surprise, James. I actually feel stronger. Standing doesn't tire me out anymore. That's exactly what I want to remind you. You don't need expensive foods to solve big problems. Sometimes the simplest foods save us from the greatest struggles. Every egg you eat is a gift to your future, a reminder that your body can grow strong again if you nourish it with the right care. 5. Almonds, tiny seeds, yet the quiet repairman of your bones, my friend. I truly believe there are things so small we easily overlook them, yet so powerful they can transform our health over time. Almonds are exactly that. I remember one crisp autumn morning when Catherine, 69, walked into my office holding a small bag of almonds. She laughed and said, James, you told me to eat these every day, but I still don't understand why they matter so much. And I told her, because some builders in your body can only work when they have the right materials. And magnesium in almonds is exactly that material. Almonds are rich in magnesium, a mineral your bones need just as much as calcium. Many people believe that taking calcium alone is enough, but science tells us otherwise. Without magnesium, your body can't use calcium to build bones. I often tell my patients, calcium is the brick, but magnesium is the mortar. Without one, the house won't stand. Along with magnesium, almonds contain vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps protect bone cells from aging. It's like a coat of protective paint on an old wooden door. It doesn't make it brand new, but it helps it last longer, stronger. And I'll never forget Jeremiah, 72 years old. He had dealt with leg cramps and fatigue for years. He told me, James, I just thought it was old age catching up with me. I suggested he eat 10 to 12 almonds a day. 2 months later, he returned with a calmer, lighter expression. I don't know why, but my legs don't feel as tired anymore. And I told him something I want to tell you as well. Good health doesn't come from big changes. It comes from small habits repeated every day. A handful of almonds, small, simple, unassuming, can become a gift you give your bones. And sometimes just a little each day. Your body thanks you in ways you never expected. 6. Soybeans, the quiet companion that strengthens your bones day by day. My friends, some foods aren't flashy or exciting, yet they carry a quiet strength that only those who truly need them can appreciate. Soybeans are one of those foods, simple, familiar, and incredibly valuable for anyone over 60. I remember Eleanor, 67 years old. She walked into my office one day and asked a question so honest it made me laugh. James, people keep saying soy is good for everything, but does it really help my bones, or is that just a rumor? I looked at her and gently replied, Eleanor, sometimes the best things are the ones we eat every day without even noticing. Soybeans and soy-based foods like tofu, soy milk, and tempeh contain high-quality plant protein that helps maintain muscle mass. And strong muscles are essential for protecting your joints and supporting your bones. But what makes soy truly special is isoflavones, compounds that act like a gentle, natural form of estrogen. After age 50, especially in women, falling estrogen levels accelerate bone loss. Isoflavones work like a thoughtful friend who shows up at the right time, helping slow that process down. There's a story I think you'll appreciate. Samuel, 70 years old, never liked soy. One day he told me, James, I don't believe that soft, mushy stuff can help my bones. But after trying one glass of warm soy milk each morning for 6 weeks, he returned with a gentle smile. I don't know if it's the soy, but my back really does feel less tired. Science explains why. Isoflavones help reduce bone loss. Plant-based calcium is easy for the body to absorb. Magnesium and vitamin K in soy support bone formation. But what I love most is watching patients regain trust in their bodies, the belief that healing is still possible. My friends, sometimes what strengthens your bones isn't something dramatic. It's a warm glass of soy milk in the morning, a piece of tofu at dinner. Small things, but enough for your bones to know you're taking care of them. 7. Chia seeds, tiny seeds carrying a powerful energy for bones and joints. My friends, some things are so small we overlook them, yet so powerful they can transform our health in ways we never expect. Chia seeds are a perfect example. These tiny black seeds, no bigger than a pinhead, hold a treasure of nutrients for anyone over 60. I remember Rosario, 71 years old, who told me with the cutest skepticism, James, you're telling me these tiny little seeds can help my bones. I just smiled and said, give them a try. Sometimes the things we think are small end up changing us the most. Chia seeds are rich in natural calcium, more than many types of milk. But what I truly appreciate is their plant-based omega-3, a nutrient that helps reduce inflammation, the silent enemy of bones and joints. When inflammation decreases, your joints move more easily, hurt less, and your bones have a better chance to repair themselves. Rosario followed my suggestion. Each morning, she mixed a spoonful of chia seeds into warm water, waited a few minutes for them to expand, and drank it. 6 weeks later, she held my hand and said, James, I don't know what they did, but my legs feel so much lighter. And I smiled because I've heard that many, many times. Chia seeds also contain magnesium, fiber, and plant protein nutrients that relax muscles, improve digestion, and help maintain a healthy weight. And maintaining a healthy weight is one of the greatest gifts you can give your joints. My friend, what makes us stronger is not always something big. Often it's the small daily habits, a spoonful of chia seeds in the morning, that begin the rebuilding of your bone strength. 8. Broccoli, the green shield nature created to protect your bones. My friend, whenever I talk about bone health, I always remember something my mother used to say. Anything green is something your body probably needs. As a child, I didn't understand. But the older I became and the longer I worked in medicine, the more I realized how right she was. Broccoli is one of the best examples of that wisdom. I still remember Charles, 73 years old, funny, lively, and absolutely hated vegetables. He once told me with a grin, "James, the only reason I eat vegetables is to make my wife happy." But his scans showed early bone loss. I suggested he add broccoli to his meals a few times a week. He frowned. "You're telling me this can help my bones?" I nodded and said, "And it's stronger than you think." Broccoli contains vitamin K, which guides calcium to the right place into your bones, not into your blood vessels. It's also rich in natural calcium, vitamin C, and especially sulforaphane, a powerful antioxidant that protects bone cells from aging. After 2 months, Charles returned this time, bringing his wife along to thank me. He said, "James, I don't know why, but my knees hurt less when I stand up now." And I replied, "See, the body always rewards us when we treat it well." What I love about broccoli isn't just its nutrients, it's its humility. A simple vegetable, not flashy, not expensive, quietly working every day to protect your bones and joints. My friend, if you're looking for a green food that truly matters, let broccoli be the one you choose more often, just a few times a week, and your body will whisper its gratitude. 9. Oranges and citrus fruits. The gentle sunshine that nourishes your bones from within. My friend, some foods bring warmth from the very moment you see them. Oranges, tangerines, grapefruits. They don't just brighten your plate, they soften and support your bones. I often call them sunshine in your meal because they offer more than sweetness, they offer strength. I remember Helen, 70 years old, who loved starting her morning with an orange. When I asked her why she smiled, "James, eating an orange makes me feel younger." And in a way, she was right. Oranges contain vitamin C, the nutrient your body uses to create collagen, the flexible fibers that form the foundation of bones, cartilage, and ligaments. Imagine collagen as the strong elastic ropes that keep your joints stable and mobile. After 60, collagen production drops quickly, which is why oranges become such essential companions. Citrus fruits also contain flavonoids, especially hesperidin. These compounds help reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and gently support bone health. One patient once told me, "James, I didn't feel a dramatic change, but I felt more comfortable in my body." Sometimes that comfort is exactly what your bones desperately need. What I love about oranges is their simplicity, affordable, easy to find, easy to eat, and suitable for every age. But for those over 60, oranges feel like old friends, not flashy, not loud, but always showing up when your body needs a gentle lift. My friend, if you want to nourish your bones from deep within, start simple, one orange a day, small. But sometimes the smallest things create the biggest shifts in your health. 10. Olive oil, the warm golden drop that protects your bones for years to come, my friend. After many years working with older adults, I've learned something important. Healing doesn't always come from expensive foods or complex treatments. Often strength comes from the simplest things, quiet, humble, but powerful. Olive oil is a beautiful example of that. I remember Walter, 74 years old. He always thought olive oil was just something you put on salad to make it look nice. But when I examined his joints, mild inflammation, morning stiffness, and dull pain, while walking, I suggested he replace his cooking oil with extra virgin olive oil. He looked at me skeptically. "James, just changing my cooking oil can do that?" I smiled. Sometimes one small change opens the door to something big. Olive oil contains oleocanthal, a natural anti-inflammatory compound. It doesn't shout like pain medicine, but it works silently, calming the tiny flares of inflammation that cause pain, stiffness, and loss of mobility. When Walter returned, at 8 weeks later, his eyes were brighter. He said, "James, I feel like I move more easily, and that heaviness in my knees is gone." I believe it wasn't just the olive oil, it was the return of hope inside him. Olive oil also helps your body absorb vitamin D more effectively, almost like it clears the path and guides calcium straight to your bones. Each drop of olive oil is a reminder your body can heal, as long as you give it the conditions it needs. My friend, if you want to give your bones a daily gift, let it be this 1 tablespoon of olive oil a day. Simple, humble, yet strong enough to support you through the years ahead. A final message. My friend, caring for your bones after 60 is not a race. It's a gentle journey, step by step, day by day, choosing to love yourself a little more each morning. These 10 foods aren't magic. They're companions, quiet helpers that can make you steadier, more flexible, and more confident as you move through the years ahead. I've always believed good health doesn't come from dramatic decisions, but from small choices repeated daily. A glass of milk, a bowl of greens, a spoonful of olive oil. Listening, really listening to your body. If what I shared today gave you something, hope, clarity, or simply the feeling that you're not on this journey alone, I invite you to subscribe to Heal Fit Health. Not for the numbers, but so we can walk this path together through future videos. Each one a gentle reminder that your health can still grow, still improve, still flourish. Hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and keep moving forward on your journey to aging strong. Because you deserve it.